As we prepare for the upcoming season, this is a season that many of us didn't know would even have. If you think back to January, February, with all that was going on with the Maloofs, ownership, and whether or not this team would actually be the Seattle Supersonics. But the Kings are still in Sacramento, and there's a lot to look forward to. New ownership, new head basketball coach, some new players. The goal with the Kings this year is to get on track toward becoming a playoff team by changing the culture, which has pretty much become the cliche of every new coach. But the Kings, if anyone, needed a shake-up in their culture in the worst way. Shake the image of being a lazy team, a selfish team, a team that wasn't coachable, and become a team that shares the ball, commits to playing defense. And from there, maybe we can start seeing some more wins. This is the breakdown of the 2013-14 Sacramento Kings. Let's start with the new coach, Michael Malone, and his staff. Michael Malone's main focus is defense, and then more defense. Offensively, he wants a team that rebounds well, shares the ball, runs in transition when the opportunity is there. Let's take a look at the center position with the Kings. It all begins with DeMarcus Cousins. The fourth-year center is poised for a breakout season. He's saying all the right things, and so far through the preseason, he's done all the right things. He's shooting the ball well. He's rebounding well. He's diving on the floor for loose balls. He's active defensively. He's doing everything that you would want from your starting center. Behind him, you're looking at Jason Thompson and Chuck Hayes filling backup minutes. Let's look at the forward position. Let's start with power forward for the Kings. The Kings took a big blow when Carl Landry had surgery, and he'll miss 3 to 4 months with a torn left hip flexor. That leaves them with Patrick Patterson and Jason Thompson at power forward. You got a classic case of Thompson, who's a traditional four-man, versus Patterson, who's the stretch four, they're called nowadays. A big man who'll step out, shoot the three ball, make it well, and also create space on the floor. Then you look at small forward. Luc Mbah a Moute was brought in, presumably be the starting small forward, but he had to miss a lot of training camp in preseason with a sore knee. Luke says that knee is fine, but while he's been out, you've seen John Salmons, who's actually had a pretty steady and solid training camp, play a lot of those minutes. And you also see Travis Outlaw looking to push for playing time. At the backcourt, point guard, you got Gravis Vasquez, Isaiah Thomas, and Ray McCallum. Vasquez, third in the NBA last year with 9 assists per game. 6'6", pass first point guard, tough, physical type player. And then you have Isaiah Thomas, who's pretty much been the leader of this team, opposite of Vasquez. He's 5'9", he's quick, talented scorer. He gets in the lane and makes things happen that way. And the Kings really like the idea of kind of the yin and the yang, the contrast between those two guys to the shooting guard position. You look at Marcus Thornton, you got Ben McLemore, and you've also got Fredette in that mix. Thornton's the proven scorer of the group. He's averaged 18, 19 a game in the league before. He's the most veteran player. Then you go to McLemore, who has all the upside. He's a rookie, but he's 6'5", he can shoot, he can drive, he can do so many different things. And what makes him different is that he's a guy who plays off of players really well. He's not a ball-dominant guy. The Kings are extremely excited about this kid. They feel like this guy has all-star potential, a guy who could be in slam dunk contest and three-point contest in the same weekend, and you don't get a lot of guys like that. Then you look at Fredette, who's might be the best pure shooter in the team and maybe one of the best shooters in the league, but through his first couple of seasons, he really hasn't had a chance to play consistent minutes. Try to predict the starting five for the season opener. I'm going to still go with Gravis Vasquez at point guard. I'm going to say Marcus Thornton at shooting guard, DeMarcus Cousins at center, and my forwards are going to be Patrick Patterson and John Salmons. That's just based off of some of the things I've seen in the preseason, the way Patrick Patterson can shoot the ball. John Salmons has quietly had a very solid camp. Marcus Thornton gives the Kings a veteran at the two guard, so you don't have to rush Ben McLemore into the game. And Gravis he gives you a pass-first guy in that starting unit. That being said, it's going to be hard to keep Jimmer Fredette shooting on the bench if he continues to play the way he has during the preseason. Whenever Jimmer's played, he's played well. So it's going to be hard to keep that on the bench. Same thing goes with Isaiah Thomas. But I do expect to see Isaiah Thomas play a lot with Gravis, or see some situations where you see Isaiah Thomas, Gravis Vasquez, and Ben McLemore together. So this team has a lot of flexibility, a lot of different lineups they can go with, and this is truly going to be a type of team where the five that start the game may not end the game. So I wouldn't get too hung up on who the starting five is for this team. That's just my guess for the moment. Taking a look at the Pacific Division, I think the LA Clippers are the team to beat this year. A lot of it has to do with the fact, not just Chris Paul, not just Blake Griffin. The biggest pickup they had this offseason was Doc Rivers. Getting a coach like that, a veteran coach, a proven championship coach, is going to do wonders for that locker room. I think the Golden State Warriors will try to challenge them for that spot. But I think at the end of the day, the Clippers have not only what it takes to win a division, they have a chance to make a run at the NBA title. It's going to be a tough road for the Kings in the division. The Warriors and the Clippers are clear playoff teams. Then you look at the Lakers, all depending on when Kobe Bryant is able to return, and if he returns, if he's the Kobe Bryant or close to the Kobe Bryant we know, that leaves the Kings battling Phoenix to try to stay out the cellar in the division. And I think this season the Kings definitely should be better than the Suns. As far as how this whole season will wrap up, I'm a little different than some people. I think it's going to be hard for Miami to get to the finals for a fourth year in a row. So I'm actually kind of going out and saying I think Indiana's going to win the East this year. I mean, they went 7 games with Miami last year. And then you also look at the fact that no team since the 80s, since the Boston Celtics, has made it to the finals 4 years in a row. Just the physical toll that takes on you, the mental toll that takes on you. You look at a guy like Dwayne Wade, his last couple of playoff runs, he's been kind of injured during the playoffs. And out the West, I've got the L.A. Clippers. Big nod to Doc Rivers. I think Doc will be the thing that puts the Clippers over the top. And I won't say turn L.A. into a Clipper town, but you'll see a lot of Clipper flags, I think, coming up in the springtime. I think the Clippers have what it takes to not only get out the West, but to win it all. I'm excited to see what DeMarcus Cousins becomes this season. I've always said he'd be a guy who could average 24 points and 15 rebounds. I think this might be the season where he makes me look halfway smart and gets close to those numbers, becomes an all-star. That's what I really want to look. I'm looking forward to seeing this season.